Have you ever wondered what goes on inside the empathetic brain? This is largely thanks to a fascinating set of brain cells known as mirror neurons. These cells are like the brain's own empathetic actors, mirroring the actions and emotions we observe in others. Imagine you're watching a friend laugh heartily at a joke or witnessing a stranger stub their toe. Your mirror neurons instantly spring into action. They ignite, replicating the observed behavior or emotion that provide you with an immediate experience of what the other person is going through. By doing so, they help us understand and interpret the actions and emotions of others. They're like the brain's secret superpower, providing us to simulate the mental states of others and resonate with their emotions. So, in essence, mirror neurons are the brain's way of putting us in someone else's shoes. Did you know that empathy has its own headquarters in your brain? Yes, indeed. Tucked away in your cerebral cortex is a region known as the right supramarginal gyrus. This little powerhouse helps us distinguish our own emotional state from that of others. It's like a compass guiding us away from our natural tendency to be egocentric, ensuring we don't just project our own feelings onto others. But the empathy party doesn't stop there. Several other regions join in. There's the anterior cingulate cortex, or ACC, which is like a master of ceremonies, recognizing emotions. Next is the superior temporal sulcus, the STS, our social cue interpreter. Last but not least, we have the insula, a true artist processing emotions and bodily sensations. So you see, empathy isn't just a single-player game. It's a teamwork of brain regions, each contributing a vital piece to the puzzle. Together, these regions form the empathy network of our brains. Ever found yourself yawning after observing someone else do the same? If so, you've encountered emotional contagion, a captivating occurrence where we involuntarily imitate and internalize the emotional states of those around us. It's akin to catching a common cold, but instead of succumbing to sneezing and coughing, you're catching someone's joy, terror, and sorrow. This is made possible due to the triggering of mirror neurons, those unique cells we discussed previously. They result in emotional resonance and collective experiences, transforming us, in a manner of speaking, into emotional mirrors that reflect the emotions in our vicinity. However, emotional contagion is only a fraction of the equation. Now, let's change our focus and discuss a concept known as the theory of mind. This refers to our capacity to assign mental conditions, like beliefs, intentions, and desires, to ourselves and other people. For example, suppose you're at a social gathering and you spot someone sitting all by themselves appearing anxious. Your theory of mind comes into play, enabling you to imply that they must be feeling uneasy or anxious. This might even trigger a memory of when you were in a similar situation that could evoke feelings of empathy. The theory of mind is somewhat like a mental simulation game. It gives us the ability to comprehend and anticipate the actions and viewpoints of others, which is especially beneficial when maneuvering through social circumstances. It's like having a small psychology laboratory in your brain, where you're always conducting tests, formulating predictions, and drawing conclusions about the thoughts and feelings of those around you. Essentially, the theory of mind and emotional contagion collaborate, like two aspects of the same entity, to generate empathetic reactions. While emotional contagion enables us to catch and vibe with the emotions of others, the theory of mind assists us in understanding and decoding these emotions in the context of their beliefs, intentions, and desires. So, the next time you find yourself catching a yawn or sharing a friend's enthusiasm, bear in mind, that it's your brain's method of connecting with others, of comprehending and partaking in their emotional universe. In essence, we are all emotional chameleons, ceaselessly adjusting to the emotional terrains around us. Think about the last time you made a decision that was influenced by your empathy for someone else. Did it involve a minor act of kindness or a larger commitment? Empathy, the ability to connect with others' feelings, is integral to our decision-making. Now, let's delve further. Empathy acts as a moral compass, shaping our judgments, social norms, and understanding of fairness. It's the driving force behind prosocial behavior, actions rooted in benefiting others or society. Empathy steers us towards activities that support and benefit others, like comforting a friend, aiding a stranger, donating to a charity, or participating in community service. Each action aims to improve others' conditions, lessen their hardship, and enhance their well-being. Moreover, empathy fosters cooperation and unity, bridging cultural, background, and belief differences. This emotional bond that lets us relate to others' experiences, their joys and sorrows, and act to alleviate their struggles. Empathy initiates a chain reaction. Our empathetic actions can inspire others to act similarly, fostering a cycle and understanding that can influence our lives and the world. Your empathetic behavior might just start a wave of positivity that can impact the world around you. Every act of empathy counts. Can empathy be developed? The answer, quite simply, is yes. Empathy is not just a fixed trait, but a skill that can be developed, sharpened, and enhanced. Studies have demonstrated that the ability for empathy can be significantly heightened through practice and our environment. Practicing perspective-taking activities inspires people to look at situations from someone else's perspective. They may also include mindfulness-based routines that foster emotional awareness and sensitivity. Practice mind role-playing scenarios by stepping into the shoes of others and engaging with their emotions and struggles firsthand. But empathy isn't limited to the sphere of individual growth and interpersonal relationships. It's also an essential component of our societal fabric, intertwined into the very threads of our communities, cultures, and even different species. Empathy is found to have some universal elements, surpassing geographical boundaries and cultural hindrances. It's the mutual smile between strangers, the public sorrow in times of disaster, the collective delight in moments of victory. It's the unspoken comprehension, the silent nod of recognition, the quiet act of compassion. In its expression and understanding across various cultures, empathy remains a shared human experience, a universal language. And it's not only humans who are conversant in this language. Evidence indicates that empathy reaches out to the animal kingdom as well. Numerous animal species exhibit empathetic behaviors, from elephants grieving their dead to dogs sensing their owner's distress. They also feel the emotions of their kin and companions, indicating that empathy is not a uniquely human attribute, but a fundamental aspect of social cognition and emotional connection. So, whether it's the compassionate tear shed for a friend's heartbreak, the pang of guilt at an unfair advantage, or the warm gratification of assisting a stranger, empathy taints our interactions and experiences, influencing our decisions and actions in profound ways. Empathy is a universal language, communicated across the globe. Is empathy a trait we're born with, or can it be developed over time? Now, that's a question that has intrigued scientists and psychologists for ages. To understand this, let's delve into the concept of neural plasticity. the brain's remarkable ability to adapt and change. Neural plasticity is the brain's lifelong capacity to reorganize neural pathways based on new experiences, learning, and even recovery from brain injury. It's like the brain's magic trick, allowing us to learn new languages, adapt to new environments, and yes, even develop empathy. Imagine your brain as a dense forest. Each thought or action is like a traveler, forging a path through this forest. The more a particular path is used, the clearer and more established it becomes, while rarely used trails can become overgrown and difficult to traverse. So, when we engage in empathy-promoting activities, we're essentially creating and reinforcing these empathetic pathways in our brain's forest. Activities like volunteering, active listening, and exposure to diverse perspectives can all lead to structural and functional changes in the brain. We're not just metaphorically putting ourselves in someone else's shoes, but we're also literally carving out neural pathways that enhance our ability to understand and share the feelings of others. But does this mean we're not born with empathy? Well, not quite. Research shows that even infants display primitive forms of empathy, suggesting that there is a biological basis to this complex emotion. However, like many other traits, empathy is likely influenced by both our genes and our environment. In essence, empathy might be like a seed planted in us at birth. Some of us might naturally have a larger seed than others, but regardless of its initial size, this seed can be nurtured and grown through our experiences and actions. So, whether we're born empaths or become one, it's clear that empathy is a vital part of the human experience. It's not just a passive trait, but a skill that we can actively cultivate, shaping not only our brains, but also our relationships, our decisions, and our world.